Name of the movie is
Ice Storm Peppermint.
I have really high expectations, and it's like I'm making this movie primarily to experiment with a lot of stuff that I tried to experiment before. I want to pick up all my influences like René, Fellini, Buñuel, Wes Anderson, and just put them together and create the whole narrative, so to speak.
Actually, I've been standing in one of those elevators and looking at girls, so I've often had the thought when I was on my way up to school.
Nothing deep, nothing artistic about it, just plain comedy.
and I think a lot of people can relate to that story when they
Everybody's
sex.
been through it.
yeah,
like
or most of the people,
guys
except
as
for
well.
the Pope.
I've saw it once. I've seen it a couple of times. You know, like the Grape Lady and these weird YouTube phenomena that you can actually buy a lot of T-shirts and remix of just basically people getting hurt on YouTube, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Sheesh! You're talking coffee cups. This guy would just survive the shotgun blast to the head.
It's a short story that my uncle wrote. We translated from Hebrew to English, and then we made a script out of it. We made an adaptation of it.
We have a very strong visual inspiration, and then the aim is to put something documentaristic, like something authentic, into those visuals.
It's a very personal story because I really hated gym class myself.
When I was a child, I had this experience when I was home alone, and then I could hear someone walking on the roof.
I just thought, is it possible at this school to make a film about the end of the world? And I thought, yeah, of course it is, if you don't make it like a big budget with explosions and all that.
And I just spiced it up with explosions and action and the future.
I read a short story when I was in high school. It's been a long time since I've read it, and I'm not going to read it again now because I don't want to get too close to his sort of vision.
Actually inspired by one of my best friends who is in America right now with a nature group.
Yeah, the big problem is the nice jogger that walked. But yeah, at least it's really, really nice.
And we're trying to negotiate with the airport right now to get permission to film there. But then again, if that doesn't succeed, we can quite easily change the script.
Afternoon, dinner, night, so it's gonna be dark outside. So the continuity there with the weather is not gonna be a big problem for us.
We're students as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, we're doing
continuity
this-
mistakes will happen.
Yeah, and
There's a lot of scenes that take place on the top of the roof. Can be quite challenging because of safety and space and so on.
Green screen models, digital effects, 3D effects. We have physical effects, like we have to make a rocket launcher, and real explosions, plus pyrotechnics, and stunts and fight choreography.
It's a bit of a technical, hard movie to do.
Actually, my only hope is to make it really realistic.
It's all got to do with how much time we're allowed to shoot in certain locations and how much time the actors have.
When I wrote it, I thought it would be like a quite easy movie to shoot. After I got picked, I tried to analyze the script, kind of, with my producer. And it's a fucking huge load of work.
Find
the right actors.
Yeah, the right actors.
We don't want this production to be with bad Danish accent or our own bad Swedish accent.
He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. He needs to be very expressive.
I have to find some pretty damn good actor kids.
Then it's like really hard to get people who goes to school.
Well, we're afraid that our project doesn't matter and doesn't make sense.
My biggest fear is that it will all fail horribly. I will lose a lot of money, that I will fail all the people that are helping me try to make this come true.
My biggest fear? Failing as a director. I'm worried about letting everyone else down. That's probably that, and I'm worried about how the audience will think There's comedy in it, and I wonder if they're gonna laugh.
We are past the 2,500 budget.
Already?
Weeks ago.
Even though you have some tutors that try and help you and make it, like, narrow it down, and I tried to take their advice, but I also tried to listen to myself and to what I actually wanted and what was the original idea.
I changed the scene completely. I think just 2 days before we shot the scenes, but not to the worst at all.
I think the biggest problem was probably me setting problems for myself. I was panicking over nothing, really, sometimes. But then I had a great producer who just said, chill out, it's fine. Yeah, Georgian frame, not so good. We eat a lot on this set. It's mandatory.
You can just go ahead and call your man up top.
Yeah, the best thing with the comedy is that we can improvise so much on set. Yeah. So just if Alex gets an idea, or me, or Oliver, let's try this.
We had a Bulgarian guy actually. I can't remember his name.
What's his name? Doesn't matter.
Everyone were very dedicated and very nice atmosphere.
I really like my crew. I'm really happy to have talented people in the crew.
I had to do everything by myself, so I was kind of messed up.
Can we say names?
No names.
No names. Okay, no names. Cut this out.
But he
Matthias.
It's our short green screen because we cannot have the big one all the time. I'm not sure about this shot in particular, but it's mostly Eastwood. The leggings or whatever girls use. We're supposed to paint our ants.
We're 16 hours away from deadline. We're still animating.
I think I don't think we disagree, actually. I just think that we don't understand the way the other one is communicating.
Sometimes it's hard to be like a long time with Camille, for example. He's fucking annoying. I'm kidding.
We had gotten permission to film there, but we hadn't gotten permission to drive in there, but we had a lot of equipment. So we kept on getting shoutings from those patrol people who come in there.
The 3 drunk people, they came by, and this one guy, he was really hostile and wanted to beat us up. First he started charging Josh and slapped him a little bit. I was just afraid that they would take our cameras and smash them or something, which they hopefully didn't.
People started showing up when we were shooting, and just, yeah, making a bit of a hassle. Not about us shooting, just, I think, excited about the fact that there was a camera there. And
they suspended the doll from a fish string. I had to remove that string in post-production in Photoshop on every single frame.
We have so many continuity problems in the film.
Yeah, that's one thing, but I'm not gonna tell, because I'm hoping that we could
hide it.
Hide it, yeah.
A guy who was supposed to have a whistle around his neck but didn't have it, so it was kind of like a good mistake.
It was the first day of shooting, and we had 10 extra kids, and they all wanted to ask me questions, and all wanted me to tell them what to do, and no, and they were all over me.
Babysitter on set, and I'm helping out, like, runner. No,
I'm
I know
not a baby.
You're not babies, but I'm helping out, like, taking care of you, talking with you.
I don't need a babysitter.
Okay, but I'm here.
And some very child-friendly people here.
There you go.
Yeah!
It's very different from what I expected it to be now. We chose something really experimental with the sound, just to cover up all the problems we had with sound.
Sound loves wind.
Sound ready?
Sound's rolling.
Camera?
Rolling.
8 shot, 1 take, 2.
Actually, I'm quite surprised with some of the scenes.
I imagined it to be more scary.
I think it started as a comedy, like a more pure comedy, but it became more sort of as a drama.
It's pretty much the same film that came out in the end as the one that I imagined even before I wrote it.
I think it has great potential. It's a simple story, but I think it's a good movie.
We got there, 10 days for 40 seconds. It's not the biggest outcome, but yeah, it's good enough for a 5-minute film, which is surprisingly long.
I think this is the film I'm most happy with.
I think it's mainly the way I wanted it to be.
We succeeded what we wanted.
I'm really glad that I had the opportunity, so I want to thank the board that decided on picking my script.
Actually, it doesn't feel like an ending, like that we're ending here. It feels more like a beginning.